The dust storms of kilos. 9 howled like living creatures, clawing at the corrugated metal walls of the outpost infirmary. Dr. Eric Solon had grown used to their rhythm during his 2 cycles stationed on the remote moon. The storms came without warning, tearing across the barren plains with such ferocity that even the mining barracks shuddered under their force. But tonight something else rode the storm. Eric didn't know that yet. Not while he watched the monitors hum their dull blue glow and waited for another routine shift to end. The miners had already come and gone, their usual fractures and heat burns treated and discharged. He'd been preparing to file reports when a violent crash shook the entire building. The lights flickered. A blast thudded against the outer cargo door. Eric froze, the stylus slipping from his fingers. What in the void was that? Another slam, metal buckling. The security alarms shrieked. The outer door burst inward. A figure collapsed across the threshold. Eric's training took over before his fear could. He sprinted toward the sprawled body. Storm dust swirled into the room, coating the metallic floor. He knelt beside the figure, a woman armored in something far too advanced to be local military. Pulses of iridescent light glimmered faintly along the torn plates. Her breathing was shallow. Her skin, what little he could see beneath the cracked helmet visor, was pale, almost luminescent. Blood glistened along a deep gash in her side. "Hey!" Eric exclaimed, lifting her carefully. "Can you hear me?" Her eyes flickered open, a strange, burning violet. For a heartbeat, Eric felt like prey caught in the gaze of something ancient and powerful. But the woman collapsed again. The violet light dimmed. She went limp. Eric dragged her inside and sealed the door against the storm. Whatever or whoever she was, she would die without help. And Eric Solon had taken an oath. Middle, the woman without a name. She woke hours later, disoriented, wrapped in sterilized bandages and suspended in a medicradle. Eric sat beside her, reviewing her vitals. Her biology was strange. Not entirely unhuman, but altered, enhanced in ways he couldn't decipher. Her eyes snapped open. She sat up instantly. Too quickly for someone with her wounds. "Easy." Eric raised both hands in surrender. "You're still recovering. Where am I?" Her voice was low, smooth, and carried an authority that felt like a command. Even weakened, she radiated presence. "Kilos, 9 Mining Outpost Alpha. I'm Dr. Eric Solon. You were injured and you should not have helped me." Eric blinked. "You're welcome." The woman swung her legs over the side of the cradle. She winced but tried to stand anyway. Eric stepped forward, steadying her. "Look, whatever trouble you're in, you're not going anywhere tonight. Those were severe plasma wounds. You lost a lot of blood." Her gaze sharpened. "There were soldiers pursuing me. Did they come here?" "No," he said. "Storms still raging. Nothing gets through a kilo's whiteout." She exhaled softly, a moment of relief slipping through her controlled facade. "What's your name?" Eric asked. "I can't keep calling you patient." She hesitated. Then, "Lyra." 'Twas a lie. Eric sensed it immediately. But he didn't press. Instead, he examined the armor pieces he had removed from her. The plating was embedded with sigils he had only ever seen in poorly pixelated news feeds and historical files. They belonged to the sovereign dominion. His blood ran cold. Only one person in the galaxy wore armor with black-violet sigils of the Dominion, forged from dark matter alloy. Only one woman. Queen Saraxa Valian. The galaxy's most feared ruler. Breaker of alliances. Commander of armies that blotted stars. Eric glanced at her again. She watched him silently, her expression unreadable. If she truly was the queen, helping her was treason punishable by planetary exile or execution. But Eric said nothing. He simply checked her bandages and changed her for. Middle continued, a dangerous trust. As the storm raged for 3 days, the woman calling herself Lyra remained in the infirmary. She recovered faster than any patient Eric had ever seen. By the 3rd day, she walked with minimal difficulty. By the 4th, she trained, moving with lethal precision, practicing forms that made the air whistle. Eric caught himself staring more than once. Not out of fear, though there was plenty of that, but out of fascination. She noticed. "You look at me strangely, healer," she said one evening, sitting by the window as violet lightning cracked across the desert. "Why?" "Because you move like you're made of something other than flesh and bone," he said honestly. "And because you haven't told me the truth." Lyra's jaw tightened. "Truth endangers you. So does secrecy." She turned her gaze to him. "You are bold for a frontier doctor." "I'm tired," he replied. "Not bold." For the first time she smiled. It was small, brief, but real. "What will you do?" she asked softly. "If I am someone dangerous?" "I already assumed you were. You would still help me." "Helping people is what I do." Lyra looked away, her expression unreadable. "You do not know who I am." Eric didn't answer. He knew. And he suspected she knew he knew. Yet neither said it. Climax. The soldiers arrive on the 5th day. The storm broke. And with it came the Dominion. Dropships descended like black daggers from the sky. Their boots shook the ground. Eric's comms exploded with encrypted warnings. He sprinted inside to find Lyra already armed, with weapons he had never seen her carry. "Stay behind me," she said. "No, you stay hidden," Eric argued. "You can't fight a platoon in your condition." Lyra stepped close enough that he felt the cold energy radiating from her. "I do not hide." The outpost doors blew inward. Dominion soldiers stormed through. "By order of the Sovereign Dominion," the commander barked, "we demand the surrender of the fugitive." He froze. Lyra stepped into the open. Every soldier dropped to one knee instantly. The commander bowed his head, voice trembling. "Your Majesty, we feared you dead." Eric swallowed hard. So the truth was out. Syraxa, Lyra spoke with icy calm. "You tracked me through the storm." "Why?" "To return you to your throne," the commander said. "The council reported you fell in battle. The galaxy believes you gone." Syraxa's gaze flicked to Eric. For a heartbeat, her expression softened. "Doctor," she said quietly. "Thank you." Eric inhaled shakily. "What happens to me now?" The commander answered. "By decree of Dominion law, any who aid the Queen, intentionally or not, must be brought before the throne." Syraxa raised a hand. "No," the soldiers froze again. Her voice rang with absolute authority. "He is under my protection. He will remain free." The commander bowed. "As you command." Syraxa turned back to Eric. "This outpost is beneath the Dominion's concern," she said. "Your life will continue untouched. But know this, Eric Solon. You changed a fate you did not understand." He opened his mouth but found no words. Her violet eyes held his, not as a queen's to a subject, but as one person acknowledging another. Ending. The queen's promise. The soldiers escorted her toward the dropship. Just before boarding, Syraxa paused and looked back. "When the storms pass," she said, "you may look to the eastern horizon." "And what will I see?" Eric asked. "Proof," she replied, "that even empires owe debts." The craft ascended, leaving swirling dust behind. For days, life returned to normal. Mining injuries, long shifts, quiet nights. Eric wondered if he had imagined everything. Then one dawn, the eastern sky flared with light. A colossal ship, larger than any Eric had ever seen, hovered on the horizon. Its sleek obsidian hull shimmered with violet sigils. A Dominion battleship. But it did not descend. Instead, a message pinged on his terminal. For services rendered to the Sovereign Queen, Dr. Eric Solon is granted the eternal right of safe passage in all Dominion territories. Beneath it, a handwritten line. Lyra. Eric smiled. He never expected a thank you from the galaxy's most feared queen. But he had received one. And somewhere among the stars, Saraxa Valian, the woman he had patched up in a storm, continued ruling an empire, carrying a small piece of gratitude for a simple frontier doctor who dared to help her.